you.
All for you. Freedom.
Keep your ears to the ground.
Talking about the freedom.
It's the best show in town.
Let's show it down. Freedom. Well.
Holy moly, guacamole. Now there's a couple ways that you can get guacamole into your life. One, you can just go to the store and buy it. Serve it with chips, you're having guacamole. Or another way you can get guacamole into your life is you can make it fresh. Why? Because it's delicious. Two, it's super simple. And there's nothing like fresh guacamole. So let's do it. Here, I'm gonna start with a quick tip for your avocados. I do the tic-tac-toe method. So keep it in the shell, and then I just run the knife kind of like a tic-tac-toe board. And you pre-cut it, but be careful, you don't want the knife to shoot out of the end of the avocado. And then when you scoop it, it comes out like they're already little dices. So that's perfect. You can put that in there, and then I bash it around with a whisk later, but we'll get to that. So in guacamole, I love a bit of texture and a bit of flavor. So red onion, you could use a white onion if you want, but I love the taste of a red onion. It's cool, it's crisp, and then I give it some nice big cuts, just like that. And that's like the perfect crunch for me for a guacamole. Not too much, but just a nice hit of the onion. Okay, so there's another rule for guacamole. You wanna have it spicy. So you can add spice a couple different ways. You could add some taco sauce if you wanted. You could add some chili flakes, but I love a jalapeno. So if you don't want it super spicy, this is what I like to do. Take the tip and the top off, and then you can roll it and see all the seeds there. You can roll the seeds out. Now this flesh is super tasty, and then I put a few seeds in there, and then the flesh has a bit of a hum to it and great crunch. So just cut it up. I do lengthwise first, and then if you put them all together, it's kind of like the red onion. You can make some nice squares out of it, or a dice. This is perfect. And then it gives you lots of crunch, but then if you want it more spicy, you can just go back to the seed pocket of the jalapeno like this, and then put a few more seeds in it if you want it really nice and spicy. And I like guacamole that hums. And garlic. You can't have guacamole without fresh garlic. Use a microplane, it just beats it up really well, especially if you're gonna eat it raw. It gives you nice garlic flavor throughout the whole guacamole. And guacamole is all about balance. So the avocados are super fat, and there's a way to cut through that, and that's some citrus. If you don't have lemon, you can use lime. If you don't have lemon or lime, honestly, like a little touch of white vinegar or apple cider vinegar is gonna give you that acidity. So a nice big squeeze of lime. Delicious, it's pretty simple to do it. And it sticks around. And the lime's great because it's gonna season it. You're gonna get that nice citrus kick, and then it's gonna keep the avocados really nice and green. And then to highlight all the flavors of that stuff, put a good couple pinches of salt into it, and then you gotta put a herb in there. And guacamole ain't guacamole without some nice rough cut coriander or cilantro. And that's my favorite herb for guacamole. Super simple. It's just a few ingredients and you're on the way to fresh, delicious guacamole. And here's another trick. If you take a whisk, this is great. So just take the whisk, almost like you're mashing potatoes, and you just press it up and down. And you're really gonna beat up the garlic and beat up the cilantro and kind of squish the onions into the avocado. And you can smell it. The more that you do this, the more fragrant the guacamole gets. And it smells of lime and garlic, and you can smell the spice coming off the jalapeno. And so just like that, then I give it a little whip. But I like to leave it nice and chunky. You know, would you please? And that's it. And I always give it a taste because I want it perfect before I serve it. It's delicious. It's so simple, but it's packed with a ton of flavor. Put it in a nice dish. And here's another tip too. If you want to eat the guacamole right away, you can serve it like this. But then if you have some leftovers and you're worried about it going brown in the fridge, here's a great little tip. Just flatten out the guacamole and then put a little bit of oil on the top, like a nice olive oil, and just put oil on the top and then press it with some plastic wrap, and it stays really nice and green. That looks beautiful. So there's a couple of ways to get that into here. And you can use taco chips if you like. You can fry up your own tortillas, but what I like to use, and this is my little secret, is pork rinds. They're delicious. They're just puffed pork skin, and it makes for the best little vessel to carry guacamole to you. It's so good. It's so ridiculously simple, and it's delicious. And the crunchy chicharron is so good with the guacamole. Do yourself a favor. Next time you're craving a snack, and if that snack is guacamole, don't go and buy it. It's that simple to make, and it's just delicious. Babe, you want some? We don't have any more. It's pretty good.